Can you see that tunnel down there? So literally just watched a documentary, and Sharon Shealy, who was in the crash with Eddie Cochran, says that's basically the last thing she remembers coming through there. Now I get the impression that he first of all drove down here, but thought he was taking the wrong turning and came back through the tunnel and back up the hill, I think, but don't quote me on that. So yeah, just before getting in the taxi, I think Eddie Cochran turned around to Sharon Shealy's partner and said, I've got a feeling something bad's going to happen, you know, fate's going to keep us apart. You never know what to believe though, do you? Because apparently she was in Bath Hospital and 3 Steps to Heaven came on and she started shouting, turn it off. They sometimes like to romanticise things, don't they? So just in Chippenham in Somerset, UK, the crash site of Eddie Cochran and Jean Vincent. Let's have a little walk up there. So I believe the car would have come through here. There's a place called the Wowden Arms here. It's a shame they don't call it the Eddie Arms or something like that. There's not even any memorabilia in there for him. Such a historical, you know, site nearby. Let's try and get across here safely. Yeah, so 1960, just played at Bristol Hippodrome. And yeah, got picked up with Jean Vincent, Sharon Shealy, the tour manager, Eddie Cochran. I believe the driver got a £50 fine for careless driving, but he defaulted and had to go to prison. Yeah, I think he was banned for driving for 15 years too. Bless him. So a bit of history. So I think it hit one side and landed on the other, but I don't know which. So struck one side but landed on the other. So it might not have been at the site of the marker. It might have been across the road, but apparently it hit one side and zigzagged across to the next. I believe that was 11:50 p.m. and in those days I believe the street lights all went out at midnight, so 10 minutes later the street lights were out. Apparently there was sheet music everywhere. Dangerous road, isn't it? It's surprising how, you know, old cars and motorbikes can hit speed going uphill. I was at where Lawrence of Arabia died and I was thinking the same thing, you know. A motorbike from something like 1935 going up a steep hill, but it was still enough impact to kill him. So just coming to the... So I think they may have hit roughly here and ended up across the road. Or vice versa. But if they were coming up this way, I'm sure they would have hit to the left and ended up on the right. Yeah, there's a lovely documentary you've got to watch. I'll put it in here, called Cherished Memories. And yeah, taxi driver pulled up and he'd been speaking to Eddie earlier on. And he ended up siphoning petrol out of the taxi. Bless. Yeah, it showed the black bit of the memorial in the documentary as well. So Sharon Shealy's touched that, and the crickets. As it stopped raining, it's always awful when I'm here. So I'll just put my hands where Sharon Shealy and the crickets have touched. Lovely. Eddie Cochran, Cherished Memories, 1938-1960. And I believe Mark Boland, Eddie was his hero, and he always claimed he carried Eddie Cochran's guitar earlier on in that tour. But apparently Mark told the odd fable too. No need for him to lie, is there? He was a legend, but apparently he told a tale or two. So musical history happened here. I think my mum was due to go to the concert but didn't go. And apparently Dave D was a policeman, one of the first policemen on site. Dave D from that band, and started playing Eddie's impounded guitar. Handsome brute. Sheila said it was, you know, proper love, I'm sure, but she was married a year later. Yeah, time waits for no man, do they? Bless you though, Eddie, a legend. 3 steps to heaven. Brilliant. Love you, Ed. Mwah.